Today, Saturday, the 14th of December 2024, we have some hand-picked events, a total of 9 games to share with you, which will be backed up by some stats and analytics to help you make your picks in this list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And to those of you who want to have access to even more games, as well as our top 10 match prediction based on 1.5 and 2.5 goal match picks, corner kick prediction events, and other match pick prediction events and big league events like the Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, Premier League, and other big league events like Bundesliga, Portugal Premier League, and all of that sort, then of course you want to make sure you become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan to start to have access to all of these features with huge odds to take your winning to the next level. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video. You want to make sure to go ahead, navigate and join as a member of the Level 2 Pro plan to start to have access and benefit of all of these to take your winning to the next level. So the link is below this video. Without wasting time, I'll begin with the first match pick of today's list. Looking at the first event, we are looking at England in the Women's Super League, a match between Leicester women against Chelsea women. First, I want to share with you the recent event of the home team based on recent event they have had. And you're going to see that, of course, in the SL, which is the Super League of women itself, the proof to be, of course, good, and even though they do concede as well. Comparing that of its opponent, on the other hand, they are very, that is offensive. They have had games, especially in the CL, which is in the Champions League of Women, and register huge wins. And looking at the recent head-to-head which they had, this same year, Chelsea women played at the way and lead Leicester by 4-0. This time, the way Chelsea women still have a very great form. And looking at the stands comparison of these two in terms of form, of course, looking at the form table, the away Chelsea women, you're going to see that they lead this table, sitting on the first place. They are very offensive for 4 events played. They have had 4 wins, scoring 17 goals and conceding 1. That's a very high offense and a very good defense. But the play rate of the home, which based on recent events they have had, you're going to see that the defensive power is slack. That is not very tough. And looking at everything here in place, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. Looking at this particular event, of course, Chelsea women, the away team, have proved to be very offensive based on recent events they have had. Also, the recent head-to-head which they met, Chelsea still played away, it lead by 4-0. This time, it is still having a very good form with a very high offensive rate, and the defensive power of the home is not that very tight. Therefore, I want to look at Chelsea women to take advantage of that defense, that is average defense of the home, to lead in full time as one of the major picks, as well as the possibility of us 1.5 or 2 goals over to occur in this match in full time. That is 2 possible picks. 1, Chelsea to lead. 2, the possibility of 1.5 go in full time. 3, even 2 goals over. That is 2.5 goal as well. Looking at the next, we'll look at Bulgaria Cup, a match between Levski Sofia against Dunav Rusey. For this event, the home Levski have proved to be very offensive based on recent events they have had, especially in the first league, as you can see here, of Bulgaria. Its opponent, on the other hand, is actually in the second league, as you can see here. The first league is more tougher. And looking at the game comparison in terms of recent performance of the home, based on home games, you're going to see that its offense is good, but that of its opponent, on the other hand, it is not as good as compared to that of the home. And looking here at everything in place, want to look at 2 major picks in this event in full time. For this particular event, of course, Levski Sofia, the home, proved to be better in terms of recent performance and form. And looking at the fact that the home is from the first league, its opponent is from the second league. And therefore, of course, this is a cup. The home need to perform its best and try every possibility to lead in full time as one of the major pick in this event in full time, as well as the possibility of at least a goal by the home team over. That is 1 over for the home. So we look at 2 major picks. 1, the home to lead. 2nd, the home to score at least 1 goal over. These are our 2 major picks for this particular event in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at England in the Premier League, Arsenal against Everton. The performance of Arsenal based on recent events they have had proved that the offensive rate is good. And they've had games also in the CL, that is the Champions League, and of course against Monaco where they had the lead, and also against Sporting, which is a very tough team. But of course Everton, on the other hand, have mostly had events in the Premier League, and its performance have proved that they are not as offensive as Arsenal. Looking at the recent head-to-head they just had, of course, this same year Arsenal played at home. This time it lead by 2-1, comparing the stands in terms of form based on recent gameplay, based on home games by Arsenal for the home, you're going to see that Arsenal is sitting on the third position. They have actually had 5 games at home, having a 4 lead, scoring 14 goals and conceding 5. That's a good offense, and the defense is also good. But that of Everton, on the other hand, which is the away team, proved that his defense is not very tight, and the offense, of course, is not good. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, Arsenal have proved to be more offensive, and the recent head-to-head which they had, Arsenal played and lead by 2-1. This time, the form of Arsenal is still very good at home, and Everton, on the other hand, is not very tight in defense. We therefore want to look at Everton, that is the home team, Arsenal, to lead in full time as one of the major picks. We also want to look at the possibility of at least 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next, look at England in the National League, the match between Barnet against F-Fleet. The performance of Barnet, based on recent events they've had, especially in the NL, which is the National League of England, have proved that the offensive grade is good. His opponent, on the other hand, is also from National League, but you can see that the conceding power is very high and the defense is not strong. The recently had game in this same year where Barnet play at the way it lead by 2-1. This time Barnet is coming home, and looking at the stance of Barnet in terms of form based on the home game played of Barnet, you're going to see that Barnet here sit on the second position. The offensive rate is good and the defense is also good, but that of its opponent, F-Fleet, on the other hand, you're going to see that the power of F-Fleet based on defense here is not very tough. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this event, the performance of Barnet, based on recent events they have had in the National League, have proved to be good, and we therefore want to look at Barnet to take advantage of this to lead in full time as one of the major picks or to give it a double chance. We also want to look at least Barnet to score 1 goal over in this event in full time. Looking at here the next, we'll look at Greece and the Super League, a match between Lamia against AK and 10. We are looking at the present performance of Lamia based on recent events they have had, especially at home. You can see that Lamia from Super League, they have proved to be very tight in defense, but that of its opponent as well. On the other hand, you can see based on the way game played, the opponent proved that they also tight in defense. But of course, the recent head-to-head which they met, Enkel and 10 played at a way it beat Lamia by 4-0. This time, of course, that is, and 10 is going away. And looking at the stance comparison in terms of recent games they have had by form, the away team and AK and 10 sitting here on the 9th position prove that they are not very, very tight in defense, and the offense is also not very tough. But that of home, that is the home team, proved here that the defensive power is also not very tight. The offense is also not very tight. And of course, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, of course, AK and 10 is the favorite here, and the fact that the major game they have had have proved a good defense. The home also is not that very tight in terms of defense, and therefore want to look at an 10 to either lead or to give it a double chance or to draw no bet for the away team as the favorite for this particular event. That is an 10 to lead or to give it a double chance. And to those of you who want to have access to more games, for we had a total of 9, then of course you want to make sure to join the Level 2 Pro plan to have access to the remaining part of the game prediction picks with each odds to take your winning to the next level. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video. You want to make sure to click join to become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan to have benefit of all of these features, especially our top 10 game prediction events, 1.5 and 2.5 goals, big league event prediction like Champions League, Premier League, Europa League, Bundesliga, Portugal Premier League, England Premier League, and so much more. Then of course you want to make sure to join the Level 2 Pro plan. You also have access to corner kick events with huge odds. So good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye bye for now.